Kellen, now having been around Saquon in terms of his character, the time that you have, can you tell fans what kind of person you've encountered?
Yeah, obviously, Saquon, you get to see the player on Sundays. We get to see the person every other day during the week, and so he's special. At the end of the day, he's a special teammate, special person. The way he connects with everyone and rallies everyone together, he's one of the best.
I don't know if you saw Nick's comments after the game about Jalen when he said, I don't know, something about game manager BS, and he's playing at an MVP level. How would you describe the way Jalen has been performing during the stretch?
Yeah, Jalen's just done an excellent job of operating at a really high level, making big time plays when we need them. Obviously, the tendency has been to run the ball a little bit more down the stretch in some of these situations, and Jalen's a part of that as well. Him running the football as well, just alongside Saquon, and so he's done such an incredible job. I think protecting the football is a huge aspect of this game. He puts us in really, really good situations throughout the game, and a lot of stuff that not everyone sees as people take casually that he does at a really high level.
On Saquon's 25-yard touchdown run, can you kind of explain everything that had to work for that play to succeed the way it did?
Guys got to the line of scrimmage. Jalen made the communication to get to the play call. Grant, first and foremost, on the backside, had a really challenging block. It was a 6 technique. The defensive end was tight, and he was going to have to cut him off. He did an excellent job there. Obviously, the front side of the block between Mekhi and Lane was excellent. Jordan was the puller. He got to the second level, and then the receivers, running those guys off and then eventually becoming blockers. We've talked about that in a few of these big plays, how critical the receivers are to making these home run plays, that they're running guys off, and then eventually they do have to become blockers. And so there's that flip and find term that we've mentioned where you got to find those guys and get those blocks, and then it allows Saquon to really be running on the post safety, which is a huge advantage for us.
Have you found the RPO game and the play-action game to be more productive than the pure drop-back game in the recent weeks? And if so, why?
I think our guys have done it at a really high level. I think guys are making excellent decisions. Every week presents different challenges and opportunities, and certainly some of those plays have come up the last few weeks, and we've done a really good job of them. And so each week will take a different path, but certainly we feel comfortable with it and feel like we're heading in the right direction.
To counter what's happened early in games, have you guys thought about not doing scripted?
We've navigated this thing in a lot of different ways, and so we've talked about it. We'll talk about it again this week as far as just trying to find the best way for us to execute, because LA felt like we had a good drive going, ended up short in the red zone this past week. Obviously, one first down, then kind of got stalled out, and so it's a frustrating aspect of our thing, and we'll keep working.
I'm not trying to be cute there, too. I understand most coaches will have scripts, but is there more flexibility perhaps you want to build in so that it does counter what a defense may be showing you contrary to what you were thinking? It's
definitely something that we've had a lot of discussions about it. Just different ways that we can attack the defense, play to our strengths, kind of focus on us, and then make the adjustments as the game goes that we need to make. And so, obviously, it's something that we've started slow, unfortunately, for too many games, and so it's something we got to do a better job of.
Do you think we make too much of the slow starts? Because you're pretty good at counterpunching, it seems, once you figure out what defenses are doing. It's a 60-minute game. Are we making too much of these slow starts, do you think?
We certainly feel like we build as we go, and certainly we've had a lot of success as the game has progressed. I think our guys do an excellent job of hanging in there. I think the cool thing is in these first quarters, as frustrating as it can be, I think our guys handle the adversity really well, and ultimately we don't want to face that adversity every single week. But our guys, I think, one big strength of our guys has been the finish aspect of this thing, that they're doing an excellent job, in those second halves.
Kellen, how much has Mekhi improved since he moved to guard?
Obviously, just an incredible experience just to see what he's done through this whole transition, and big-time player, making big-time plays, his ability to move people at the line of scrimmage, at the second level, working with Lane in tandem so many times. Those guys are special players.
How important was it that he really embraced the move from tackle to guard when you guys initially moved him?
Yeah, I think obviously all the credit goes to Mekhi and his willingness to go for it, and that's kind of the beauty of off-season programs, that sometimes things like this happen and you get an opportunity and you jump in there and take advantage of it, and more opportunities present themselves, and he's certainly a great example of that.
What makes Tyler an ideal fit for that extra blocker role?
Yeah, we just went down in a goofy situation just because we lost Dallas, and so we needed an extra guy. We only had 2 other tight ends. Felt like we had to get heavy with some bigger bodies, and traditionally that would be 3 tight ends. That's how it's been the last few weeks, and so there's a couple offensive linemen that we have that always know that there's a potential that if we needed them, they can pop in there. Fred's done it before as well earlier in the year, and so Tyler did an excellent job. I mean, to be honest, he's, other than walking through maybe a couple of those plays, he's never ran any of those full speed, and for him to hop out there and handle that, create the movement. His first one was an excellent combination block with Lane. It was big time to see.
If Dallas does end up missing some time, what are your thoughts on the rest of the tight end options?
Yeah, we'll see how this week progresses. It's December football. A lot of guys are banged up and dealing with things, and so that's how these weeks now naturally progress. And so we feel fortunate that we have a number of guys, with Grant obviously playing an excellent role when he kind of hopped up when Dallas was down earlier. EJ and CJ have both played, a few games this year, and so they've played roles. They're ready to go, and so we feel fortunate to have the depth that we have, and we'll just see how it progresses.
Do you think the lack of having Dallas and the 2 receivers together, it hasn't happened very much this year, has played a role in not being maybe as dynamic a passing game as you guys would like?
It's a good question. I think certainly, we feel like we've been really efficient in the passing game. I think we've protected football. We've been explosive. We've created those plays. Obviously, the attempts are down, and naturally the yards are down because of that. But, I think associated predominantly with the run game and the success we've had there. And so, I think our guys have done an excellent job. When guys need to hop up and play different roles, our guys have done a good job because, like you said, a number of these guys have been in and out throughout the season, and guys have played a lot of different spots and within the game have had to make those adjustments, and the guys do a great job handling all that.
Having interviewed in Carolina, is that an organization that you've kept an eye on, number one, and what did you gain from that interview experience?
Anytime you get an interview with ownership and an NFL organization, you get to grow a lot as a person, and you get to grow your experience around the NFL. And so awesome experiences each and every time you get to do those. You get to connect with great people that you get to continue to have relationships in some capacity with. And so, it'll be fun to see some of those.
With Grant Calcaterra filling in that fullback slot, what did you make of him in that position? Is he kind of who can fill in for Ben? What's missing there?
Really, really big credit to him, just because Ben unfortunately was a late concern as the week progressed, and so for Grant to be able to hop in there again with very limited to almost no reps as far as full speed reps out there, his ability to go in there and handle those situations. We have a number of guys who can play those different roles, and so that's the fun part of this week is we're gonna let this thing progress with a few different options and see how it progresses.
Panthers are a team that's playing better of late. What are some concerns you might have about their defense and what they're doing on that side of the ball?
I think they're playing really good ball the last 4 weeks, and the numbers all show it. They're playing really good. I think that having the edge rushers back, they have some edge rush. The secondary, they got really good corners. They're really physical, aggressive guys. I think you can tell they're playing well connected naturally just because I think they're getting guys that are playing together now for a number of weeks together, which contributes to guys being on the same page and communicating and playing at a high level. And so they've played really well.
How much does the athleticism of the offensive line expand your playbook?
Certainly, we feel like our ability to pull these guys in a number of different ways is a huge advantage. All 5 guys can pull, all 5 guys can play in space. And when you have those opportunities, you're certainly not limited.
Kellen, around the league, there was a really scary moment involving Trevor Lawrence, and it seemed like he slid the way it's taught, but he still took a devastating shot. Do you have to rethink or reteach in any way the sliding that Jalen does or any of your quarterbacks do in that spot?
That's a great question, and I haven't watched it thoroughly to give a great answer on how the outcome of that one particularly went. I think Jalen, fortunately for us, he's done an excellent job. He had a couple runs in our game where he did a great job. He's always done it. He gets the yards that he needs, slides down, puts himself in a protected situation, and done a really good job. But, like every week in the NFL, there's always lessons to be learned. And so something probably as the week progresses, as we watch around the league and kind of study those things for the whole team, we'll look at.
Last one?
Kellen, the first touchdown drive, you guys took advantage of the short field, but you also used some tempo. What goes into saying this is the point where we're going to go to tempo?
Tempo is obviously something that we've utilized a lot this year, and so it's guys I think are comfortable in it. You play fast, just play decisive. obviously you got to find your rhythm to create tempo, once you earn first downs in those different situations. And so I thought our guys did an excellent job. We got an earned first down on a run on 3rd and 4. And then after that, we went really 3 plays on the ball in a row. I thought our guys did a really good job there.
All right, thanks. We got
All right, thanks.